It's Mylz.
It's trouble. This nigga f*** me up.
It's the Make It Make Sense podcast. My brother from a different mother. How are you?
I'm chilling, man. You can't be saying shit like that right before we start recording, though.
Me? I don't say it. You think I try to make this guy laugh? Come on. Me? I'm always serious.
I think by now y'all know that bullshit.
Oh, you know what? When this episode comes out, I'm officially 40. What's if you're born in 82, how old are you?
What the fuck kind of question is that?
I don't know if I'm 41 or 42.
I'm not doing that shit. I'm just not. I do a lot of thinking on this show, alright? And I'm not doing that.
The sadder thing is that I don't 100% know my own birthday. But you start not giving a shit after a while. It's all the same. But
I've never not remember how old I was. I'm going to just throw that out there.
Wait till you're 41 or 42.
They told me that before I turned 30, and I still remember my shit, man. I don't know.
Well, point is that I had such an asshole. Point is that that I had a birthday since this has come out, and it made me think. I wanted to ask you about birthdays, right? Do you when you hit a birthday, does that matter anymore to you, or do you sit there and think about like, oh, I'm 30 whatever, and now I'm 30 this? Like, does anything happen on that day mentally with you?
Yeah, no, yes and no. It's not as much magic on it now for me as it was when I was younger.
Sure.
But I think that's just more or less the mindset that I'm in right now. Mm-hmm. I'm more in drive mode. Like, So I figure once I'm more in a position I want to be in life, I cherish that milestone a little bit more celebratory wise.
Okay, yeah.
But like in my spirit, it is kind of like, damn. But I lose track. I ain't gonna lie. I was fucking with you earlier. Like, I lose track all the time.
Yeah.
Like, when I was younger, I was told what a 30-year-old should look like, feel like, that kind of idea. Just that mindset is like, I don't feel 30 at all. Most people, I just was at a job interview a few weeks ago, told dude I was 30. That nigga was like, you lying.
He thought you were younger?
Most people think I'm younger.
You look young. You do look young.
That's gonna help me out when I get older. They say black don't crack.
And this is when you say, so do I.
Nah, I'm just playing. Nah, you look good for your age, bro. I'm just fucking with you. I just fucking with you.
That means I look old. Half of me don't crack, right?
Hey, but that little salt and pepper look be working, bro. You can pull it off.
I ain't got no choice.
Hey, you know what, man? You can go ahead and get a little cologne commercial and just stare off in the distance.
Now you're being an asshole about it. All right, that's fine.
I believe in you, man.
But you made a good point, though. You did make a good point, and you actually worded it exactly correct. I think for me, when I have birthdays, I don't celebrate them, and it drives my fiance crazy. Chrissy, love you. It drives her crazy because she wants to have birthday weeks, and she wants it to. She wants a big extravagant. She's already planning her birthday where it's going to be this big excursion and blah blah blah. Is this because we've grown up watching like millionaire artists that go, it's my birthday, and it seems like everybody in the world cares, and they have big parties, and I feel like I haven't reached that spot yet. So.
I wouldn't say that. I would, before I answer that part of it, I do want to mention, like how you mentioned, like your significant other. I think women in general are naturally more inclined to like cling to moments like that. Because most women I know, they definitely care more about their birthday than any guy. Or when their guy comes or somebody they're close to, their birthday's coming, they like, you're not doing nothing? What do you mean? If this was me, I'd be... What do you mean? I think it's just more of a woman. Like most guys I know, I know a lot of guys that like to party and celebrate, but even the most extravagant guys I know like to party and celebrate with their circle.
Right.
And let everybody watch them ball out. You know, that kind of idea. Like, I think guys are more like, if I do anything, I just want to do it with my niggas, my boys.
I agree.
Big or little, women are definitely more like, I don't care how much money I got. This is my day. And I'm gonna build up to this day, and I'm gonna make it my day.
Milk the shit out of it, boy.
Yeah, bro. So I just think it's a mindset thing. And I do agree though that I don't agree that the music has necessarily influenced that feeling. I think it's just more of a maturity that men or women get at a certain level where it's just like, okay. how hard can I really party now? If I just cut all loose, I could have a great time, yeah, but if I was actually where I wanted to be, would it be the same? Nah, so I may as well just get to where I want to be and then let it all go.
That's what it is. You know, I don't think anybody that's driven is ever gonna, I don't think you or me will ever be in a place where we're like, okay, maybe I'm wrong about you. I can only speak for myself, where I feel like I don't think I'll ever feel like the job is done and that I'm at where I need to be. I think I have moments where I do, and I go, okay, like when you said that, I started immediately thinking, oh, I need to be grateful for where I'm at and think about how I could be compared to anybody else that's a father, producer, whatever. Like I'm doing okay. It's not the best in the world subjectively.
But see, I think that's more what I was gonna state too, that we need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Like I get it. You like you just said, you don't think me and you definitely had that same like hardwired mindset where it can almost be too hardwired, where you almost burn yourself out because you don't give yourself that chance to actually just enjoy the small victories. So over the course of the last year or so, like, bro, like my daughter being so young has helped me do that, because she'll be like, oh, daddy, I just seen this video. That's you in the video. You know, and like I'll be watching like, our stuff. Yeah, I'll be watching it, like, you know, when you send me the previews or anything like that, and we going over things and going over the editing process or anything like that, I'll watch it. You know, she might sit over me and watch it, but for her, it's the most exciting thing on the planet just seeing me on a video on my phone. Because to her, she directly correlates it to seeing other people that are big on my phone. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, I'm jealous because I show my daughters this. I show my daughter this. I get in the car and I'm like, hey, check this out. And I show her and she goes, are you famous? I'm like, put your seatbelt on.
But see, my daughter's not old enough to think like that yet. That's why I said she's so young.
I'm kind of an asshole, so maybe it rubs off on them, and that's why they're such a smart ass about it. But she seemed genuine.
I mean, but think about her age group. Yeah. That's a valid question, because that's just how, again, this era definitely correlates success with fame.
You're right. Yeah.
But I know a lot of people making a lot of money that you don't know.
Exactly. And I tell her that's what I'm going to be.
And see, and that's the thing. It's just, but even that idea,
or not,
it's still in her mind. But I'm pretty sure if one of her friends pulled up a video and she seen you on it, she'd be like, oh, that's my dad.
Yeah.
She's not going to care about the views. It's just that principle. Like, my daughter's so young that, like, it's all enamoring to her. Me telling her I got a show and then showing her clips of the show afterwards. She's just like, oh, that's you, daddy. Oh, get it, daddy. Like, it's just like, it makes me care more about it than I would have if, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, man. If people get motivated by likes and shares, your kid thinking you're the shit, that's the biggest like and share you could ever fucking receive.
Come on, bro. Like,
oh, well, did you hear that? Is this a what the fuck moment? Shit. Oh, Tr3bel, tell the people what the fuck is.
What the fuck is what we just told you what the fuck was gonna be last episode. We told y'all we was gonna hit y'all with some random shit. It might be funny, it might be mind-blowing, but today we about to go and look at the legendary Rick James give you a nice message.
I'm sitting in the car with my old lady. I had about $80, $90 worth of dope. And I just ate it. And of course they took us to the police station. And I was I was scared, you know what I mean, what does this look like? The day after I get out of jail, and I got dope on me?
When you say you swallowed it, was it inside of a...
It was wrapped inside a thing, and defecated it out.
Defecated.
Later on, 8 or 9 hours later, and smoked it.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
Bruh.
Oh,
what
shit.
the fuck?
Oh, shit. So I defecated it. He said, don't ever say defecate.
I got $80, $90 worth of cocaine. I just ate it. Nigga, you ate the plastic at all?
Oh, man. bro,
This a bad motherfucker.
He's a
Like,
bad
what the
motherfucker.
hell? What the fuck?
he you made me think.
Did it smell like shit when you snorted it? Then he said he smoked it. My bad.
It don't matter, bitch.
I ain't gonna put it up my nose because it smell like shit.
Dude, you made a point about music almost being irritating, like the way it's produced now for maybe different reasons. Man, I put on Mary Jane the other day. Oh, it hits so good, man.
I swear the OGs understood frequencies better, but I think
Dude,
they
talk on
also
it.
played real instruments. So the real instruments naturally tapped into our natural feelings, our natural emotions. Like when you look at the way a guitar sounds, whether it's electric or acoustic, you can feel vibrations. You listen to a drum, you feel vibrations physically. It's not generated through a digital format directly to your eardrums. You feel an instrument. It resonates through your body. So even when you listening to a lot of those old school songs, the reason they hit different is because it's people playing real instruments. So that sound resonates different. They had to tune that instrument to this. You know what I'm saying?
No, I do.
You
Yeah.
tune digital shit. Don't get me wrong. People who do that, I give y'all the utmost respect. There's some crazy producers out here.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Excuse me. Yes, you do a great job, bro, for real. You also do great at engineering. It takes hella fire skill to be able to do that. But you're better. Would you acknowledge that you might be better at engineering because you have the skill to play live instruments? Do you hear it better? Or
I don't know, man. That's a really no one's ever asked me that before. Do I think my this is how I feel about my production is that producing and playing live and playing instruments is two different things. I think I excel whereas I know how to make electronic music sound like a real band. Like if you listen to some of the stuff I've done, everything is digital, right?
Yeah.
But people think it's like a 20-piece band with strings and guitars. And in that respect, I have an advantage because I understand where instruments need to be placed and where they.
see.
But with frequencies, for me, it's a different problem. It's a different thing to deal with because that's turning sound into digital frequencies that pump into speakers and sound a certain way. So I think the thing that the common thread that annoys is the bass. That's the frequency, the bass, and that I struggle with the bass frequency. Not because of me knowing how to play raw instruments or doing digital, but just understanding the art of mixing and mastering.
So you would say that playing live instruments helps you arrange it, but it doesn't necessarily give you an advantage when it comes to actually doing it digitally.
Correct. Yeah.
So that I think that goes into like what I was saying. It's a different concept playing live and playing digitally. Like it's just a different frequency level. It hit different. They don't consciously know that it doesn't.
I don't think people do. Yeah.
But they at the same time something about their spirit does. That's why we're in this era of I need more. Just give me another song. Just give me another song because they just not getting the fix off of one song like they used to.
Yeah.
You can drop one song and it hit and people go listen to that song over and over.
Right.
It's much harder to do that. A lot of guys, they listen to a song on repeat because they pull up your mixtape and that's the only song that was hot. You know, you hit it once. You hit that frequency they was looking for once. But it was like back then, I felt like it was easier to hit frequencies that people were tapped into because it was live. Like, I feel like right now, if you take any major producer right now and you get a live band to do it, we've seen it. It hit different.
You're right, man. Any genre where especially hip hop, R&B, when they do live albums, I liked the way those sounded better.
It just hit different because there's just a different resonant frequency that lies in real instruments in comparison to digital instruments.
That's why, for me, like Quincy Jones, I wish I knew the people that did like Earth, Wind, and Fire. Like these guys, there was a certain period though, because it was like when it hit like the late 70s, early 80s, they figured out the equipment well. And that shit sounds great.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I don't care what you say. Them drugs they was on had to play some part. Because, bro, they
Cocaine's
just used to tap into... Rick James, bitch! So, it's like they used to tap into a different ethereal realm, but I think it also used to come from an overall camaraderie that people had back in that era.
And the producers weren't usually... most producers were sober making those albums. That's a thing that people don't think about. So the artists were fucked, but the producer knew how to coordinate the music and the arrangement to get the best out of them.
It depends on where you're going with it, because it's a lot of them boys back then, especially in the 70s, they was all in that bed. Because it wasn't just the producer. It was like okay, like
it actually was a team.
Really, it was more like, okay, like if you take the look at, like, how would I say it, like a rock band recording in the studio compared to like,
which is
Rick
more of
James.
like my world, so I know that a little bit more than any other genre.
So, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on anything I'm about to say. So if you take that visual and sound, and you take the idea of what it would be like for a Rick James to record in the sound, like let's take Mary Jane, the song. So you listen to those sounds, ain't no way they not all high.
Well, I think Rick James, if I'm not mistaken, was the producer. So he's a rare breed.
Yeah, but I mean, he had help. You always had other people come in the studio with you and play background sounds. But like you say, he's definitely different when it came to that. But like I was saying, it's just the idea of being able to tap into that energy together in that room. Whether someone might not be high, some of them might be high, some of them might only smoke weed, some of them might be on weed, coke, and other things. Might be drinking, some of them might drink, but whatever it was, they could get off their little regular world they was in and all tap into this music world. And it was more of a vibe to slide into that world, where when you go to like a rock energy, it's more like you gotta bring your energy in there.
It's actually changed now though, but I'm not going to derail your point, because you are right, because most of the time, for a long time, it was the bands in a room together. Here we go, record, boom, we're doing it. Now all music is kind of like, I track at my house, I'll send it to you in Alaska, blah,
That's
blah,
why
blah.
music sounds the way it does too. I think
it all comes back around your point.
It's just the camaraderie back then was just so different. I remember one time, it's a spot out here called the Lion's Den. But before it reached its pinnacle, there was like a little point where it was just a small group of artists. We do our thing. I was there. A few other artists were there. A guy named Isaiah Hayes is a pretty good singer.
Shout out to Isaiah.
He came and brought his keyboard one night. It's me, Harmony Rose. Shout out to Harmony if she ever seen this. And we all just in there vibing, bro. And it was just, I did some of my songs, he did some of his songs, but here he is with this keyboard. Here we are, these talented artists. There's maybe like 15 people there, but we all zooted it. We
Shout
all
out those 15 people.
You know, they was on their hookah, shit like that. Shit that people was drinking, you know, it's just different shit. And it was just such a vibe in there that night. Homie just started playing the keyboard. We just hit a vibe. Next thing you know, the people clapping with him. He's singing. I'm rapping. We done made it down there a whole song.
I love it.
Now, if you take that could happen a lot more. You can make a lot of classics like that, and that's what they did. I just feel like y'all all in the studio, you got this many talented motherfuckers. Y'all all just went on tour, done seen the same shit, did the same shit. It ain't too hard to tap into that frequency, but because now people are so spread out, people are going on tour and then disperse. All right, bro, send me that, send me this, send me that. All right, bro. It just doesn't have that same
I was gonna say that it feels like we have moments. We're not always, as far as all the local artists that are in our circle, we're not always all together in the studio at the same time. There's usually a few here, a few there. But man, when we can kind of get a good clump of them, I feel that vibe. Our last session, we had a good ass time. We did that funny ass song, Dick Swing, or whatever the hell, Tab, your song. In a way, that was kind of happening, you know. So maybe I should get some fucking keyboards and some live instruments in here, and we just fucking.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm gonna pick one of them guitars up one day and show you. I know a few chords, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did say he knows who Jimi Hendrix is. Hey,
please stop playing with me about Jimmy, man.
I'm sorry, I didn't say anything.
Damn, bro.
Hey, I do want to show you something though, because you mentioned about things being real and not real. I want you to just see this. Tell me what you think about this.
It's hard to believe, but what you're seeing right now is not real-life footage. It's actually gameplay from an Unreal Engine 5 video game. This video has taken the gaming internet by storm. People blown away by the visual fidelity, fake or pre-rendered. So today, we take a look at this, tell you a bit about the game, and get to the bottom of it all. So the buzz.
My bad, my mouth all open.
So this is real.
Okay, I am familiar with Unreal Engine, but to say that that wasn't absolutely shocking to look at, I would be lying.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way you were gonna tell me that was a video game until I seen the characters moving by certain things. You can tell, like you said, it gets to a certain point where you can subconsciously realize
Would you have known if he wouldn't have said it? I don't think I would have.
If I after he got in the building and that first person ran by, I would have started to have wonders on what I was looking at just that time.
And they explained that they made it more realistic because they blurred the faces out. The Unreal Engine still has problems getting faces to look real. So in this game, it's almost like you're like body cam.
Yeah.
So they blurred the faces out, and then you can't tell.
I didn't even notice the person's face was blurred.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. But I was just saying, it's the angle that person ran by, that it looked like Call of Duty. Right.
Okay.
But other than that, but all up until that, my mouth is wide open. I'm not believing, like you're saying, it's a game. It's insane. I think we are really headed towards that Ender game shit.
This is what the first thing I thought when I saw that was that whole simulation theory is making a lot more sense and becoming a lot more believable. Even for me, I go, if this is the infancy stage of a video game, how do you not know in hundreds and thousands of years we aren't the end product of that right now?
I joke to myself every day that my life is a big ass play that somebody is watching and they get a kick out of making me go through some of the shit I go through because it just does not make any logical sense.
Some people say it's God. Some people say it's something else, but everybody thinks they're in a game.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead into that theory a little on my perspective here. I believe in my spirit being a thing. I believe my spirit is alive and it's what activates my vessel. I do believe my spirit is a remnant of God energy and it has God energy in it. And if it is cultivated in a certain way while on this plane in this vessel, it can emanate a God-like aura off of me and I could then emanate God-like acts. Okay. So this is where my idea of the simulation theory goes. Okay. There are, like I say, my spirit is a remnant of a higher energy. That higher energy, every person is born with a purpose. And you have a path that helps you reach that purpose. Everybody has a chance to reach said purpose, whatever that purpose is. Earth is spirit school based on my studies. So you come, your spirit activate a vessel, you are here for a reason. You are here to learn something or to give something to the world. Everybody has a positive, natural reason to be here. But whatever that is, you can veer off of that path. This is where the idea of free will comes in, where a lot of people have a big struggle with the Bible, where it's like free will or did God preordain everything? Right. So from my understanding is the God level energy has preordained where what your path should end like. You get what I'm saying? But there ain't no direct path on how you get there, and you might not get there in this lifetime. And if you don't, that's fine. You can keep going. This is the idea of reincarnation. I believe that. Everybody might not. Yeah. So again, this is my opinion on what it is. So this whole idea is your spirit never dies. So you're going to constantly get reincarnated in a different plane. It might not be on Earth. It might be on a different planet. So you believe in reincarnation? Yes. Okay. So this theory is where the simulation concept comes into full realm, because if you believe that your vessel is not alive, well, your vessel is not the life itself. It's an avatar, for lack of a better term. Exactly. Yeah. So whenever you get reanimated in whatever time, whatever era, whatever it is that you get reanimated in, there your vessel is now the game and your spirit is the player. Except for in this game, you don't start from the point you died from. You start from the very beginning. Correct. Your spirit doesn't, though. Oh, but why doesn't the spirit remember? That is a great question. That I haven't fully understood. But what I do know is that the spirit does remember. And you remember especially a lot when you're a kid. and then you lose track of that due to the bombardment of things that have been put around us, the propaganda, all of that kind of stuff.
It's like
and
overload.
Then, and you just block out those latent memories. But all of us tap into them. All of us have had deja vu at some point.
Dude, fuck. You took the words out of my mouth. I was about to marry what you're saying to something I've always believed for no reason other than me just believing it. Is that when I have deja vu, what does deja vu feel like? Deja vu feels like you've been here before. So I've thought about that my whole life. I fully believe deja vu, there's a high likeliness that deja vu is a behind the curtain that you're on a path. It may not be right, it may not be wrong, but you're following the track on the train track. You're on the track.
Matrix, yeah.
Yep. So you can still change the direction. You can switch the rails and go different directions, but currently right now, you are on a path that is predestined.
I have never thought about it in that way, but I think that's actually a very astute way to present that. I never thought about it in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But
you're welcome.
Yeah, bro. I like that.
I've never said that. I've only said that to close people, but not just told the whole world. But I bet you other people. I wonder if other people.
Most people wonder about deja vu. Most people wonder about
dreams.
Certain things like dreams. Why is it that DMT, which is a chemical that is found in our pineal gland, it is only excreted when we dream and when we die? So does that mean we die every time we hit REM sleep?
Yes, that's a debate. That's an interesting conversation to have, too.
Yeah.
That's why we're going to do DMT live on the podcast. No, not really.
Yeah, nah.
Or maybe just me. Maybe I'll just melt in my seat and he'll stare at me.
I thought about doing DMT at some point in my life, but I would like to do and I'm scared too, but I would like to do more
you
natural.
Should be scared.
No, the more natural route where they got a drink in South America where they grind DMT extract out of leaves.
Yeah.
And they boil.
But you got to go in the
shit.
woods with a shaman.
Yeah. I mean, Mike Tyson said, "Feel like you dying." So is that not ironic based on what we just said?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
a lot
where
of
they
show
say
you, but you know what they show you, where they show you DMT, and everybody who's watched this movie has seen the effects of it in the movie form, and you probably didn't realize it.
Doctor Strange?
No, Black Panther.
Oh, right.
Nightshade.
Right. But
he goes back and sees his ancestors and all of that. But look at the process when he goes through the Nightshade. It's not pretty.
Right.
He's like, and that's exactly how Mike Tyson described. He said, "No, I felt like I was popping out of my own body. It didn't feel good at all. I felt like I couldn't breathe."
But they always say it's like a life-altering experience when they do it. So that's the thing, right? It sounds horrible. Like everything we said in the last episode, everything has a price. So maybe the other way around, if you go through well, actually, it makes sense. Go through something super shitty, you come on the other side of it, you're a better man.
Yeah, I mean, if you're willing to take the risk of what comes with this, you can get the reward of what comes with it.
Yeah.
I've heard it, but I want to see and experience people firsthand.
Smart. Yeah.
But because that's a big thing. But the idea of that acid, shrooms, it unlocking these different parts of people's brains, this isn't just made up. At some point, I've never done shrooms, I've never done acid. I'm not knocking anybody that does. I want to be very clear. If you've done shrooms, if you've done shrooms or acid or coke, I'd much rather a motherfucker tell me that than they tell me, "Yeah, bro, so I hit the crack pipe a couple times a week." You know what I mean? And don't.
We talked about that off camera.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't you for one fucking second think I don't know, nigga. Nonetheless,
yeah.
It's a lot worse shit out there. But
if you ever want to do DMT, if you ever find a place in the woods to do DMT, that would be crazy. I can't wait to hear that experience because from you coming from a place of never really doing mind altering stuff, that mind altering, I'd be super interested to hear your experience. Back to the video game and it being a simulation. What if how pissed would you be if you found out that you're just an avatar?
I would be happy. You know why I would be happy?
Because it would make sense?
Yes.
True.
Make it make sense. You gotta throw that in at any time,
right.
You know what I'm saying? But I would legitimately, it would make my shit make so much more sense. Cause bro, I'm telling you, I go through shit where it's just bro, I feel like I'm in the Truman Show, my nigga. There is no way this is happening for real. So I don't even get mad no more.
That would make you even think that people, that whole theory about people being, you know, not
NPCs.
human. And yeah. I mean, like basketball players that could be not human. I mean, it could happen.
It definitely could. Like, dog, that whole NPC concept, though, is so fucking funny to me because I told you about watching Free Guy. I finally watched that movie.
Oh, God, such a good movie.
It's a great movie. Shout out to Ryan Reynolds. I think he's an awesome actor.
He is.
He tends to play in these kind of movies that have these kind of like meanings too. I just watched Detective Pikachu with my daughter for the first time. Have you watched that?
I don't know what you just said. What?
Detective Pikachu?
Pikachu? Oh, the
From Pokemon, man, yeah. But they got like a movie, like a live action movie called Detective Pikachu.
Live action, like an actual yellow thing.
Yeah, like it's actually they did a good job with it.
Wow.
But Ryan Reynolds plays Pikachu's voice.
Oh, I do know that. Yeah.
As soon as he only know white people.
No, but he wasn't. But he was the voice.
As soon as I say Ryan Reynolds, he know the motherfucker.
Oh, you mean Orlando Bloom?
See, he ain't know Orlando Brown, but he knew Orlando Bloom. Nah, I'm just playing.
Man.
But the reason I even brought up Detective Pikachu is because he's in that too, and there's a lot that goes on in that movie where they start talking about telepathy and being able to exchange shit that I did not expect that movie to go down that path.
Okay.
Their sidekick Pokemon, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the main one that was created by the government who wasn't an actual Pokemon, Mewtwo, has psychic ability but can transfer a motherfucker consciousness into a Pokemon like a human.
That's deep.
For that to even be in there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was just saying that to say that Ryan Reynolds happens to play in a lot of movies like that.
Right.
Where I be thinking certain people know certain shit for sure.
Yeah,
and
because he's
just
at a point where he could pick and choose.
Yeah, he'd be like, yeah, nah, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a lot of weird roles in my past. I know what's coming here. But I said all of that to say, Free Guy, he plays blue shirt guy. If you ain't seen that, I ain't going too far into it. Watch it. But I feel like that's me, bro. Like I realized I'm in this fucking simulation. And I'm not the only person now. I run into a few people every now and again who's reached that blue shirt guy like level. Another like supposed to be NPC that broke out of their NPC role. I realized that because, bro, I don't want to go too far down to being about but I've experienced this with other people too, where they have this conversation with me, and I feel like I'm a person that they can come to talk about this because I was given that kind of code in my DNA that I'm aware. Like, I personally do not believe my spirit originated on Earth. Personally, if you look up Interplanetary Souls, it's a discussion by Dolores Cannon. Okay. And basically, she talks about she's a hypnotist. Not a. How do you use the word? A psychiatrist that they put people under hypnosis.
Yeah, hypnotist. Yeah.
But isn't it a psychiatrist that has that ability?
No, psychiatrists. Psychologists can listen to you and kind of help you sort out problems. Psychiatrists do the same thing, but can give you drugs. Hypnotists can alter your state of mind and put you under. Yeah.
So she used to do like hypnotherapy. That's the word.
Hypnotherapy. Okay.
Okay. So she used to do hypnotherapy, and what she was finding is she would get a lot of people that felt out of place that would come to her. And she was like, "Why did I get all of it?" And she said, "I hated to say weird because of my job, but I felt like I got people that just didn't fit the norm of society at all." And she was not into anything about interplanetary, anything at this time in her life. She said that basically her husband gets into this crazy accident and she got told basically, don't worry about it, he's gonna live. But it was like, no, he's gonna die. That's what all of the doctors were saying. But she got told, no, he's gonna live.
By who?
She was like, it's just a voice. Just talk to her.
Oh, okay.
So she started like, okay, because she heard other people that she had been doing hypnotherapy telling her that the same thing would happen to him, where this crazy thing would happen, and there would just be this common voice to be like, no, this is what you should expect. Okay. And they would ask other people, like, do you hear it too? And they'd be like, well, it's just like, you're kind of weird. Don't ask me stuff like that. Yeah. So either way, she goes down the path of where she would go back and ask people certain questions. And she would find out a lot of these people, while under hypnosis, would go, when they're doing like past life regression, start going back in their past, they would go back past being on Earth. And she was like, she couldn't understand why this was happening. Like, and she thought it was weird. Like, people under hypnosis saying, yes, I remember being in a place that looked like this. And the areas they're describing is nothing on Earth. The soil is a different color. The sky is a different color.
I want to do that so bad.
So at first, she's like, okay, this is just some weird phenomena that I have to figure out. So she starts seeking out other psychologists and other hypnotherapists and things like this. And she just starts getting down this path that nobody understands what the hell is going on. And other people have experienced this and they just wipe it away because they don't want to talk about it because it's so outside of what's norm.
Sure.
So she goes down a path and eventually gets to this study of interplanetary souls where she starts categorizing people that are from certain planets. Like their spirit, they say, I'm from here.
She was doing this?
While she was doing the hypnotherapy, she would get like people that would say, I remember my sky looking like this, boom, boom, boom. So she would get certain like reoccurring things from different people and she could pinpoint, and all of these people would start to say they felt like they were from this area, these kind of things. And she would have different questions to ask that guided them further down what they were experiencing in this area.
Is this a video?
Oh, this is a book. This is a video. This lady
I want to see this. I want to watch
has
this.
multiple books. This lady has multiple, like she's one of the, like, bro, she's undeniably, unequivocally proven. She's on all of the talks. I've been on all the talk shows. They can't deny anything she's saying. They can't disprove it because she has physical evidence on video of people being under hypnotherapy, describing other planets that they were originally from.
Oh, that's dope as shit.
So I went down this tirade to talk about how she made me start thinking about past life regression and how she talked about how you can do certain past life regression things in your own time to find out if you may be an interplanetary soul.
Okay.
Things like that. So I started going down a path and I started realizing, bruh, hey, my whole life I never fit in and I was fine with that. But there was a certain things about me that I could never understand, but going down this path, I understand it better. So this is why I like having this conversation with people, because you might be a person that feels like an outcast. You just don't fit in. You don't. You're not from here. This is why Earthlings feel weird to you. I found myself saying that shit in my mind, bro, and I'm like,
is that Earthlings?
Dog, swear to God, I'd be like, not necessarily Earthling, but I would say shit like, yo, people really annoy me.
I do catch myself saying humans.
I was finna say, then it changed after I got down a certain path. I would just say, God damn, I'm sick of humans. I'm sick of fucking people. I'm sick of this earth. I'm sick of, and I didn't understand why I felt so strongly about it until I started studying this interplanetary soul concept. What you can do is, like, please recount your dreams. Write down what you see in your dreams.
Like a dream journal. Yeah.
Yeah, because as you do that, you'll start to be able to lucid dream. And when you lucid dream, you start to experience shit where, bro, you pop up in a certain time frame where you can almost pinpoint where you're at. And you get there a couple of times in a row. You can concentrate on that thought before you go to sleep and pop up there again.
Yeah. Almost every night I listen to hypnosis, depending on what I want. This is something I feel like only I do it, but all the videos I look at have like millions of views, so I guess I'm not alone. But like last night I listened to releasing mental and physical pain, because I'm going through like constant body pain. Like, I listen to hypnosis all the time, so I absolutely 100% love it, man.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. And so when you doing this kind of hypnosis, it's deep, bro. And these people are not conscious. They're going into the deepest realms of their subconscious mind, bringing this stuff up. When I was just studying myself, like, one thing I found about my spirit is I was definitely a warrior. And at least 2 of my past lifetimes, there's a way you can count a rough idea of how many lifetimes your soul has been alive. I forget the exact formula, but you can look it up. It has something to do with your birthday and stuff like that. And like, it's pretty neat when you start going down that path, because it's like, I always felt this. I always was an old soul. When I was a kid, I never liked other kids my age that much.
Me too.
But I could talk to adults all day. Like, I remember seeing ghosts and stuff when I was a kid, but I don't see them as I got older. But I feel energy. I can feel a demon in a person, like, legit. I can look in your eyes and be like, nah, I ain't even.
That's so funny. If you looked at like the show notes, one of my things was, do you believe in ghosts? That's, swear to God, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about.
Okay. Yeah. But like, you know how many times that has happened with us where there's a topic I might have and you catch it.
I think you did it twice in this episode already.
So that right now, that is telepathy. But that is also what I am talking about us being spirits that are connected to a higher power. when you are in tune with another person, those natural exchanges happen because of something called the Akashic Records. Again, this is fact. Type in Akashic Records. It brings up everything you need to see. This is not fake. This is not some theoretical idea. This is proven metaphysical science. The Akashic Records show that we can, while meditating, we can go so deep into thought that we can tap into other people's thoughts. We can tap into almost any timeline's thoughts. All of that, all of those kind of things, you can pretty much travel. And this is where the monks were talking about being able to travel through space with their spirit. Going to different planets and stuff. They have this stuff documented, bro. Yeah. It's called activating your Merkaba, which is like your light body. When you align your chakras and you awaken your chakras, there's a different light energy that opens up inside of you. They're like light portals, for lack of better words. So this is not, again, this is not made up. If you think it's a joke, sit on your floor, put your feet in a crossed format, take your fingers, just connect your, fingers like that together and sit them by there. And when you're going to feel your abs start to tighten up naturally, you don't have to do it. How does that happen? How does energy just activate through your body by just sitting in a certain position? If you look up Qigong meditation, if you lay down on your back flat and you breathe deep, but fluent, like flows, breath flow like water, but you let your, breathe and feel the air coming from your navel, you'll start to feel energy channeling through your whole body. This is what they used to do before they physically trained to fight. This is why they were able to break bricks and stuff like this, because they were unlocking chi or ki energy that is in our bodies, that is just locked throughout portions of our bodies that allow us to tap into soul energy that's way more powerful than physical energy itself.
Wow. Damn, that's another road we can go deep down. Before we wrap it up, I want to remind you, we have Claressa Shields. You wanted to do a shout out to her real quick. Oh yeah,
man! Shout out to Claressa Shields, man. She just is really doing her damn thing to put on for women throughout all sports, and she just don't get enough universal love. She's the GOAT in boxing, the greatest woman of all time. Ain't no belt she ain't get yet. She just defended her belts again. She from Flint. She put her money back where she can. She training people. She do everything she can, bro. And she literally had 10,000 fans. And people be talking about women can't draw, women can't this. I watch people bash her all in the comments. She decides, because normally she just kind of herself. She got her husband love her, she ain't tripping.
Right.
But she decides to beautify herself, get extra pretty, stuff like that. And then the first thing they do is say, oh, look at her becoming a model now. I bet you she loses. She's not as tough as she used to be.
Haters gonna hate, man.
That's what I'm saying. But the thing I hate the most is that I use her as a segue to just say, I feel like we in a weird ass era where men hate on women way more than they hate on other men.
Yeah.
I just can't. And then half of y'all niggas can't fight. She's not just any kind of boxer. She don't fight at 120 either. You feel me? She struggles. She talking about how hard it'll be for her to make 147.
So basically, she whoop almost everybody's ass.
Come on, bro. And then as soon as she respond to their ass, they get quiet. Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were ever gonna respond.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, man. Men that sit, yeah, you're right, bro. You're right.
Weird era.
Shout out to Claressa. Do your thing.
Keep going, and all of the beautiful ladies out there. 97% of girls quit sports by the time they start high school. They get sold on everything else, and I understand there's not a ton of money in a lot of the sports for y'all the way it should be. I get it. But the more y'all it is, the more numbers of y'all it is. It just, y'all can't be denied. Y'all got to stay together, stay on y'all path. Y'all got people like me. Y'all got people who in the NBA who all rooting for y'all.
That's right.
Just don't quit whatever sport you in. I don't care if it's basketball, you want to play football. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, soccer, all of the above. I just do want to caveat, if you want to play football, understand that if you get hit by a 230-pound dude, the odds of you getting crushed just like an average person, you know what I'm saying? So don't. I'm just being honest, you know what I'm saying? But the overall reality is I really need ladies to stay doing what they doing, because y'all are the power source we missing out here. And that's it.
Hell yeah. All right, till next time.
Yeah.